Right, just got back from a launch for one of the Greens candidates in the Huon Valley Council elections, which are coming up soon. It was all about trails, the Huon trails. Now what Paul's trying to do, who I know, the full disclosure, is try and set up infrastructure through the council funding and state funding that would allow for more people to be active on push bikes and separate cars from the bike riders. Now this is one of my pet things at the moment. Like I still cycle a lot on my road bike, and I cycle obviously sometimes on my electric bike to do shopping. But riding on the open roads here is increasingly getting worse and worse because there's so many tourists, trucks, new residents, like heaps of traffic these days, especially on the weekends. It's really, really busy. There's a couple of routes which are better, which, you know, we tend to do loops around Wattlegrove or Petries Bay or somewhere like that and get off the road a little bit, which is really good. But this new thing is for horse riding, walkers, mountain bikes and normal bikes to have separated trails. You know, some mountain bike trails around Grey Mountain, that sort of thing, and through to Huonville and back at Judbury, and walking trails which they could get going straight away. One of the projects was for a separated cycleway all the way from Cygnet to Huonville, which would be fantastic, because then you could hit some other back roads once you get off the main highway. I think that would be a really good thing to do. So anyway, that's where I've been. I've got some other footage coming up about that, but it was kind of interesting because I've been thinking about traffic a lot lately, because a couple of months ago I was riding back from our local town and a tradies ute went past me at about 500 millimetres from a elbow, you know, like at about 80 kilometres an hour, and that's way too close. In fact, it's illegal, I think. It's meant to be 1.5 metres, but there was no one coming in the other direction. He just did it because he wanted to, you know. So that sort of thing is stopping a lot of people I know from riding. Like, I probably know 20 people who said they'd ride if it wasn't for cars, because they don't like the traffic. So if we can get this sort of stuff up and going, especially in this area, it's going to be a good thing. So there you go. Over to some of the footage today, and a little interview with Maddie, I think it was, who rides her BMX bike. She started off racing BMX bike as a kid, and now she rides with her mum, who's got a carbon road bike, and they go off and do 40k rides, and she's on a BMX bike with no brakes, and she keeps up. I mean, she's out of the saddle the whole time. I thought Alberto Contador was pretty good at riding out of the saddle, but this woman is just incredible. So interview with Maddie coming up as well. So there you go.
I dragged you out on such a beautiful day.
Well, and look at this.
Yeah.
She's got a thermal on. Wimp.
Win.
Hey Tim, how you going?
All right.
I haven't seen you in the flesh for so long. I kept following you on
Good.
Facebook.
Here we are with Paul Gibson and a few friends who wants to run for the council of the Huon Valley and open up a heap of trails, bike riding, horses, dog walking, bush walking, all sorts of stuff. So that's what we're here, for the launch of that.
It's a no-brainer, and
Yep.
they should just do it. And so anyway, that's what we're.
And if they know, if you've already got money that's been actually nominated from a partner,
Yeah. It
it's
makes a big
amazing how it
difference.
just
Makes
it's
a
added
big
onto,
difference.
and other people say, okay, well that's actually got legs.
Yeah, it's got.
I'll
legs.
add to that.
It does have legs.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
And it's tourism, it's health and well-being, it's the whole.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, look, that's what I find I'm doing all the time. I'm going around
yeah.
talking to people, and it's just like,
Yeah,
let's do it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So that's the
No,
thing.
it's exciting.
Yeah, it is really exciting.
So you don't think it's going to be that an expensive a project in the end? Like if you're thinking
It's-
about 75 to 80,000 for the feasibility study, and then overall costing, have you got a ballpark figure or?
Well, they spend $5 million at Derby, so I reckon that'd be the sort of spend you'd be looking at.
Yeah. It's not a huge amount of money.
It's nothing.
It's not for the return.
Not even in the council budget. It's like when there's that sort of return coming back, it's nothing. But I
you'd be
think
able
that
to
you'll get
partner.
your partner.
Exactly,
Your partner, there'll be
exactly.
grants and your partner.
Yeah.
And I mean, as far as the total budget's concerned, you get what you can and you do what you can with it. But there's room for expansion all the way down to Cockle Creek, and there's iconic trails from Cunani through to South Cape.
Yeah, I like this.
Medical
Colour
centre,
coordinated. This is fantastic.
Yeah, well, the medical centre actually gave us some dollars. They said, you guys are trying to be healthy. Yes.
Trying.
It's great. No, they were great. They actually, they really promote, really supporting us.
Yeah,
so,
well,
Yeah, great.
we're all in that boat, Tim. Anyway.
and as much as we said girls, pink, none, and we thought actually it's actually a really good colour to see on the
Stands
road.
out. Yeah, really
And
stands
these
out.
are cool. The little sort of cycle female,
It's a talking point because everyone goes, how come they're wearing pink?
Yeah. Well, that's right. It sort of bucks the non-gender
Exactly.
trend and sort
Yeah.
of like a cycle.
It is.
And it's high vis. And
They're very cool.
Southern Pedals have got their bright yellowy fluoro stuff.
So that was done.
So that was done.
Yeah,
Have your
yeah.
own colour.
The
Yeah,
helmet
yeah.
was a bit over the top though, Nick.
What's that, mate?
Is this why we don't see you in
Well, pink and-
significance
Oh,
anymore?
I've
Because
toned
we're
down
not
my
trendy
pink
enough for you?
effect.
Oh no, it's just that we've
I
been
know,
a bit
Naomi,
wussy this
I know.
winter.
Yeah, I have too.
People
I
don't
must
see
admit.
this
Yeah.
part of me.
Yeah.
But the
and
weather's getting picking up
previous
now.
bike
it
was
is.
Have you talked to the dog walkers?
No, I haven't talked to the dog walkers. But,
Have you? Are you? Hello, dog walkers. How are you? Hey, beautiful. How are you? Yeah. The dog walkers. The bikes. Bike trails are fast and they're made for that, and the walking trails are walking trails. They're different things, but there's room for everything. There's not a problem. Even on that Judbury to Huonville trail, there's a possibility of having the walking trail with the horses on one side of the river in the 30 metres, and then the other 30 metre side you can have quite a fast road electric bike trail, and that's transport, much more about transport. Judbury straight through to Huonville. It's been said, everybody keeps saying it's a no-brainer, and I think that's the way it is. The money stacks up, the health stacks up, the safety on roads, and there's a lot of energy already happening around Australia and elsewhere. So now we've just got to keep pushing and make it happen. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Other than voting for you and I suppose speaking to our friends, what would you recommend as something that could gain more traction with the wider community?
It's all about building the numbers, and Martin's taken on that role. He's going to put together all the people, and we just keep building that so that we've got a big group that basically demands it.
Right.
And we've got the money from the state government of $80,000 for a feasibility study, which we're hoping to amplify with other money from maybe Bendigo Bank and a few other places, enough to cover the whole of the Huon Valley. And then if we can get that feasibility study together for the state election in May, federal election in May, then we've got something on the table, and we can say, we want a grant. And as soon as you start to get that grant, then you can add on to that and get enough money together to get it off the ground. And then it's an ongoing thing. There's no way you can do it all in the first year. You just keep building. But as soon as people start to come and use it, then there's the demand there, and then that's what drives more building of trails.
so, what's your name?
Maddie Hollick.
Maddie. Yeah, how you going?
Fine bit. Full of bullshit. Probably can't say
You were
that.
just saying before that you go for rides on your BMX bike
Correct.
with the roadies.
Correct.
What's the longest ride you've done with them?
Not with these guys. The longest one I've probably ever done with other road bikes, not just on my own, it'd be probably a 60k,
Wow.
something like that. But I'll regularly ride my bike, probably 30k's, like do a Judbury
Yeah, okay.
around to Huonville Loop on back up Ranelagh
And a
side.
lot of it's out of the saddle, isn't it?
Pretty much all of it until I go downhill.
And you go pretty fast. I just noticed you're whipping up and down the road there.
Yeah.
So what sort of what can you average basically?
Well, an average
25?
25 would probably be my average if you sort of spread it out.
Yeah.
Downhill with a tailwind and the speedy wobbles, I'll hit say 75k's on this, but then I'm back up out of the saddle because it does get a little bit sketchy at
Yeah.
times. But pretty
Well,
much
it's such
like
a short wheelbase, isn't it? So
yeah. So for these guys up in top gear on a flat bit of road,
Yep.
I'll be doing like 6.5 revolutions to their one to cover the same distance. But once I get up to a certain speed, I might as well not pedal,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Because I'm just chasing myself, burning energy.
Yeah. Okay. And no brakes. How do you get on with that?
I actually struggle with them, to be honest. I'm not
Okay.
used to without them. So like when I stop now, I just put my foot down back in here.
Yeah, that's what we used to do as kids.
Yeah, pretty much
Just
exactly
jam
the
them
same
in,
thing.
yeah.
Jam it in there.
Yeah.
Or sometimes if I'm being a bit lazy, I'll just put my foot out on the road.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
You go through a few pairs of shoes.
yeah. It's a good excuse. That's what I reckon I tell people I don't have brakes. Just because it's an excuse to buy some new kicks.
Fantastic.
But like, I've ridden BMX pretty much my whole life on and off, whether it be competitive or not.
Thanks, Nigel. See you soon.
A lot of the time I just like to look good.
Yeah,
But-
that's great.
Like these guys will always beat me, but I don't like riding a big road bike. I've done a little bit of downhill, but I just get out of my BMX because I simply love to ride my BMX. It doesn't matter if these guys flog me or I'm an hour behind them. I'll give it a red hot crack.
Good on you. Thank you so much indeed.
No worries. Be good at it.
I'll take 2.
Aren't they fantastic?
Oh, I really
fantastic.
enjoyed it. Yeah, I could have stayed on that all day.
I used to ride a normal bike as
Hold
well.
on this.
Yeah.
Wait for me. Don't go. I need to talk to you before you go. Yep.
But I ride a normal bike as well, but I'm going to start a hire company in Cygnet.
Oh, are
See,
you?
over the summer months.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have like normal bikes as well, but
Yeah.
probably 2 or 3 e-bikes because it's just taking off. And I
Yeah.
do my shopping on this. I can go from home into
Yeah.
Cygnet, get my shopping, come back up my lumpy big road
Yeah.
without having to start the car.
Yeah.
Put the panniers on. It's
Yeah.
great. You know?
Yeah. No,
But
it's so good.
it's easy, isn't it?
It is easy. It's easy. Yeah. It's.
Plenty of power out this thing. And that one.